Hi, friend. It's your inner child calling. And they want churros. A new toy. And a new adventure. Or maybe 5. With the bestest besties on Earth. Find your moment at Walt Disney World Resort.
This is your moment, your time to shine, your comeback. You're ready for the next step in your career, and you want an education employers respect. So you're not just going back to school, you're coming back with Purdue Global. Backed by Purdue University, one of the nation's most respected public universities, Purdue Global is built for people who bring their life experience into the online classroom. Purdue Global, Purdue's online university for working adults. Start your comeback today at purdueglobal.edu.
Hello, my name is Vanessa Handy. I'm an associate producer at Wonder Media Network, and I'm excited to be guest hosting this episode of Womanica. This month, we're diving into the divas of history, examining how the label has been used from many angles, whether describing women pejoratively or with admiration. Today's Womanican was a tour de force. She embodied the femme fatale of the French New Wave movement. She gave dimension to complex female characters on screen and in her own life. Please welcome the legendary Jeanne Moreau. Jeanne Moreau was born in Paris on January 23, 1928. Her mother was an English dancer, and her father was a French restaurateur. Jeanne had a difficult adolescence. At home, the family grappled with her father's alcoholism. Outside, World War II was escalating. And for a time, the family lived in Paris under Nazi occupation. Eventually, her parents separated. Her mother returned to England, and Jeanne chose to stay with her father in France to pursue acting. Her father didn't approve, but that didn't stop Jeanne. After enrolling in drama school at only 20 years old, she became the youngest full-time member of the famed Comédie Française. Around this time, Jeanne fell in love with a French director. The two married in 1949 and welcomed their only son. The marriage didn't last long, but the ex-lovers remained friends in the industry. For several years, Jeanne was cast in mostly minor roles. That was until she met Louis Malle. In Louis Malle's 1958 debut feature film, Elevator to the Gallows, Jeanne plays Florence, a woman entangled in a web of love, deceit, and murder. Jeanne's performance in Elevator to the Gallows marked a turning point in her career and coincided with the emergence of the French New Wave. This 1950s and 60s movement rejected traditional filmmaking and ushered in a new era of experimentation and innovation. Jeanne became a central figure in this movement, embodying its spirit of rebellion and its embrace of complex, unconventional characters. Her popularity exploded in Europe and among American art house film lovers. Jeanne appeared in another one of Louis' films, The Lovers, a drama about a dissatisfied wife who leaves her family to go live with her young lover. The movie was highly controversial in the US and was banned in a few states. Jeanne lived a controversial life herself. Her relationships with highly respected artists were always a topic of conversation. There was her collaborator, Louis Malle, American jazz trumpet player Miles Davis, French film legend François Truffaut, and the Italian-French fashion designer Pierre Cardin, among others. In her professional life, directors desperately wanted to work with her. They were captivated by Jeanne's expressive face. Orson Welles called Jeanne, quote, the greatest actress in the world. In 1962, Jeanne took on a role that would solidify her status as a cinematic icon. In François Truffaut's Jules and Jim, she portrayed Catherine, a woman who becomes the third in a love triangle between two lifelong friends. 4 years later, Jeanne appeared in another controversial film, Mademoiselle, directed by Tony Richardson. In the film, Jeanne played a schoolteacher in a small village who engages in acts of terrorism to draw the attention of a man. At this time, the film was met with much criticism for its exploration of overt sexuality and its disturbing depiction of psychological turmoil. To add to the drama, Jeanne's affair with the director led to his very public divorce. Jeanne made her directorial debut with Lumière in 1976. This film, a poignant exploration of the lives of 4 actresses, further demonstrated her commitment to examining the complexities of female experience. In 1971, Jeanne was one of the most notable women who signed the Manifesto of the 343. The manifesto, led by Simone de Beauvoir, included the signatures of 343 women who confessed to having an abortion at a time when it was illegal in France. The manifesto helped normalize abortion and built a pressure campaign that was highly influential in the French government legalizing abortion 4 years later. As she entered her later years, Jeanne embraced aging both physically and emotionally in her work. She continued to act into her 80s, taking on challenging roles that defied stereotypes of older actresses. In a 2001 interview, she told The Guardian, quote, "Nostalgia is when you want things to stay the same. I know so many people staying in the same place, and I think, my God, look at them. They are death before they die. That's a terrible risk. Living is risking." Jeanne died on July 31st, 2017, at the age of 89. Her legacy continues to resonate with film lovers around the world. All month, we're talking about divas. For more information, find us on Facebook and Instagram at Womanica Podcast. Special thanks to co-creators Jenny and Liz Kaplan for having me as a guest host. Talk to you tomorrow.
Do you want to see into the future? Do you want to understand an invisible force that's shaping your life? Do you want to experience the frontiers of what makes us human? On Tech Stuff, we travel from the mines of Congo to the surface of Mars, from conversations with Nobel Prize winners to the depths of TikTok, to ask burning questions about technology, from high-tech to low culture and everywhere in between. Join us. Listen to Tech Stuff on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Nicola Coughlan, and for BBC Radio 4, this is history's youngest heroes. Rebellion, risk, and the radical power of youth.
She thought, right, I'll just do it. She thought about others rather than herself.
12 stories of extraordinary young people from across history.
There's a real sense of urgency in them, that resistance has to be mounted, it has to be mounted now.
Follow History's Youngest Heroes wherever you get your podcasts.